Perfect.
All right, bet. We're in it. We're in it. We're in it. We're in it.
Everyone's a little scared. The other thing also to note. Oh, okay. What's up, man? What's up?
I think fat people should do to lose weight.
Bro said, what do you think? Calorie deficit, brother.
Control their calories is the easiest.
It's the only, let me not say the only, that's the best way. That's really the only way you lose weight is if you have you're in a caloric deficit. So that's the only way you really lose weight. So yeah, start counting your calories, watch your calories, and make sure you pay attention to what you eat. That's about it.
Easiest way, and then exercise. I think if I was the Führer or President of the United States, either or the leader, I would put all the fat people in concentration camps because obesity is a problem, and we need to get them in a camp where they concentrate on their health and diet and exercise. And that's what I would do because I think obesity is actually one of the worst things that we have going on in the United States, and it leads to heart disease, which is the #1 killer.
What do you say to someone who doesn't want to lose weight? Like they don't think it's a problem to their health.
To the camp you go.
All right.
All right, good shit.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Fuck fat people. That's another thing I forgot to say. Obesity is completely unacceptable. I don't know how we don't make fun of fat people more. We need to bring back fat shaming. We need to bring back fat shaming and slut shaming. This country would instantly improve if the fat dudes lost weight and the women got back in the kitchen and weren't 304s.
Oh God.
So
right,
look,
but
you're
like
looking at me like I'm crazy.
Niggas, they like, bro, I don't want to get cooked because of these. I was trying to be a Superman. I don't want to get cooked, bruh. I know he's finna cook me. I don't want to be cooked because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Ladies, you're welcome to walk up to the mic if you have a disagreement and change my mind. But those are the different positions that we have.
It's like, please don't fucking don't. I can't, look at these niggas are scared.
And guys, Jacob is doing me a solid right now. He's gonna send me all the chats from the last stream, so I can have them here, and I'll go through them. And then also, as you guys know, Sean's live on monitoring his YouTube. I'm on YouTube too, but you can super chat on Sean's on Uncensored America if you guys want to get involved in the show. We're live on Rumble, YouTube, all the platforms. I'm monitoring it from my 2 drug dealer phones.
The 2 drug dealer phones. I think it's stupid, bro.
So, also, just so you guys know, we got a packed schedule this week. We're here at Penn State. We're going to go to... It looks like we got someone in the back that's terrified to come on the mic. He has something to say, but he doesn't want to come on. I will say this, though, about leftists and liberals. If you're a leftist, raise your hand. Okay, cool. Why is it that, and there's definitely more of you guys are just scared, I could see. Why is it that leftists are always scared to have conversations with conservatives? Have you guys noticed that? Like, they'd rather just, call you a bigot or a Nazi or a racist, which might be true, but they don't want to actually debate your ideas, right? So I always find it interesting how liberals, and just so you guys know, we're live streaming, which means I can't clip you. This is all here, like it's all in its totality. There is no clipping or clip farming or anything like that. So there's nothing to fear. No one can take you out of context or make you look crazy. The only person that can make themselves look crazy is yourself. But I find it interesting because earlier today, right, since the audience here is watching, if you guys remember Bandana Man that was here earlier, I guess he's like an Antifa guy or some shit. As they were setting up, he was giving them a lot of grief. He didn't even know who the speaker was going to be, and he already was having a problem as soon as he saw Uncensored America. And I get on the set, and I tell him, hey, come on and have a discussion. And he's just screaming from the side instead of coming on the mic. And I'm like, bro, if you want to have this discussion. Then when he does eventually build up the courage to go on the mic, he starts ranting about H-2U visas or some shit and companies exploiting them. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with ICE? Like, that's not the topic. The topic at hand is ICE did nothing wrong. If you want to complain about migrant workers being abused, that's another issue. Okay, that has nothing to do with immigration in itself. That's more about exploitation via immigration. But again, his feelings got the better of him, and he decided to just spurg out. But yeah, if I said anything that offends you or you disagree with or whatever, feel free to come up to the mic. I will say this. When I was at USC, they were much braver. Penn State, like, what the hell's going on here, man? Let's see here. All right, so I got some chats here. While I wait for some people to build up some courage. All right. KG Furrow says, what building are you? I'm trying to pull up and show support. Where we at? Old Main? We're at Old Main, KG. Old Main. Man Like Mike says, doing God's work. / Appreciate you, sir. So, guys, I want to illustrate to you guys something, right? I don't know if you guys caught on to just what happened. So 4 girls were in the back, right? Clearly they had a problem with some of my worldviews, and they didn't want to say anything to debate, which is interesting. And this is precisely why women should never be in positions of power. They cannot defend their positions. What's up, man?
Hey, so is the premise ICE did nothing wrong?
Obviously, it's a little bit of hyperbole, but for the most part, I think they're doing more good than bad.
Okay, so how are you defining wrong?
They're not breaking the law for the most part.
They're not breaking the law?
Yeah, they're enforcing immigration law.
Not really.
How are they not?
What's going on? Where's the due process?
Well, they are getting due process, but they're getting due process within an immigration court, which is an entire different process than a criminal
No, they're
court.
not. They're being picked up at immigration courts. We've seen the video. We've seen the evidence. While they're doing the legal process, right? They're being picked up going through the legal actual process. So how are they doing nothing? How is ICE doing nothing wrong? They're stopping them from going through the actual legal process.
So here's the thing. When they're getting picked up at these immigration courts, they have no status, okay? So the way we've been doing things for a while now has been aliens have been able to stay in the United States with no status and kind of pending things. But the reality is when you don't have status, you're still removable. So what they're doing is, especially in New York City, where it's a sanctuary city, and this has been going on for a very long time, they're picking up these people that don't have status. So as an illegal alien, their methodology of due process within the immigration courts is completely different to that of what you're familiar with of a criminal court.
Sir, they're picking up people who one, do have a status. 2,
No, they don't. Hence why they're getting picked up.
No, they're picking up people at their actual court hearings that they're known.
Yes.
Right?
So either the immigration judge is ordering them removed, they don't have status, whatever it may be. But if they're getting picked up at the immigration court, that means probably more than likely what happened was the judge rendered that they don't have status to stay in the United States.
Right, but they're going...
Hence why they're getting arrested.
These folks are going through the legal process, right? They're going through the process. There are folks that are actively either they're on certain visas, they have certain green cards, whatever. Those are folks who are actually known, who are actually upset. ICE has picked up those people too. Why are they doing
because
that?
they violated their visa to some degree.
Is freedom of speech a violation of your visa?
What was that?
Is freedom of speech a violation of your visa?
I actually agree with you on that one, where what they did to Mahmoud Khalil and these other individuals who were protesting against they used anti-Semitism as the reason, even though it's bullshit. But I actually agree that they should not be picked up for political speech.
So yeah, we can at least agree that...
We can agree on that.
What it is, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is...
Deporting students for political speech that are here legally on student visas is deplorable.
Yeah, 100%. So we both agree with that.
Yeah.
But my friend... what I'm saying is that what they are doing is arresting American citizens in the night. They're arresting people.
And can you just speak up so everybody can hear you too? So that
they're arresting American citizens in the night. They're arresting, and they might be just detaining them and holding them.
Yeah.
But still, like, they're arresting American citizens and their children. 1. 2, they're picking up people who are going to their actual, like, okay, I need to go through the process of going through the legalization process. So they're picking up people while they're actually trying to do that. And the Supreme Court just ruled that they're able to profile brothers and sisters that look just like me and you. Why is that okay?
Okay, so the first thing where you're saying that they're picking up American citizens, the reality is if they're picking up American citizens and they're actually staying detained and getting arrested, more than likely they committed an immigration crime. So whether it's harboring illegal aliens, transporting illegal aliens, aiding and abetting, these are all federal crimes.
Chicago. Well, whether or not it's a federal crime, what is illegal immigration first offense defined under? What is it defined as?
Okay, what, illegal entry?
Illegal entry. What is it defined as?
Yeah, that's 8 U.S.C. 1325.
It's a what though? It's a misdemeanor, correct?
No, it's not. It's a crime. Here's the thing. It's a crime, all right, and then illegal. You could say it's a misdemeanor. But it is. But I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. That's what it is. Okay, but you're still deportable for coming in illegally.
Okay, fine. But
whether it's a misdemeanor or not,
why are we deporting people who are actively going through the process? Why are we picking up people? Why are we arresting?
They have no status.
Why are we arresting American citizens in the night? They are just detained, but we're still breaking in, busting down American doors of American citizens that look like me and you. So why is that okay?
Here's the thing, and this is why it's very important to understand. They might have a criminal arrest warrant for an individual who is harboring aliens who might be a U.S. citizen. That's what allows them to kick the door in. And then any other illegal aliens that they come across, they can grab. Now,
So, we're
I will
allowed to
say
get picked
this,
up. Sorry, go ahead.
They can conduct what's called an immigration inspection. And that is where they determine their alienage and their citizenship. If the American citizens are not criminals and they're not harboring aliens or whatever else may be, and they're able to prove that they're a U.S. citizen, right, with their immigration inspection, they're fine. They'll be released. But the illegal aliens are the ones that get picked up once they get fingerprinted.
So the freedom we have in this country is the freedom of we might be harboring an illegal immigrant. So our kids can
That's
be
a felony.
zip-tied, brought out naked, right? Even though we're not harboring, brought out naked into the streets of Chicago, put in U-Haul vans, separated from their families because they might be harboring an illegal immigrant. That doesn't even make sense, brother.
They're conducting an investigation. If they go into a house
With Apache helicopters?
or if they're look, we don't dictate how law enforcement does their operations. Like, they're going to do their operations in a way where they can stay safe. Like, there's a bunch of tactical reasons as to why law enforcement does the things that they do. So, yeah, and
So
go
wait. You're telling me they have to use an Apache helicopter on a building where the majority of the people staying in this apartment building are in fact American citizens to keep us safe? How many people do they have to? How many Americans do they have to round up and zip tie? And how many children got to round up to keep us safe?
Well,
well
he was saying
again,
to keep the police
Chicago
safe.
has a very bad crime
themselves
problem.
safe.
One of the worst cities in the United States.
Memphis is the worst.
Okay, that's why I said one of. Okay, Memphis, Detroit, Chicago, all these blue cities have problems. So the reality is, them running an Apache helicopter and rappelling in or whatever.
I like him.
That's tactics. That's a whole other thing. Like, some people might look at it like, oh, that's aggressive. That's, we don't need all that. Well, the reality is, the more aggressive you come in as law enforcement, the less likely they're going to resist where a use of force incident actually occurs. This is why law enforcement employs overwhelming force in the beginning to deter individuals for trying to retaliate, and it actually makes everyone else safer.
They're threatening ISIS, threatening and using pepper spray, tear gas on what is it called? On ambulance vehicles, right? On vehicles that are trying to administer aid to protesters. ISIS doing that. You really can't defend. You really can't
Violence
defend.
against law enforcement, especially immigration officials, has skyrocketed since the administration started.
Because they're wrong.
Was that?
They're wrong.
No, they're not.
Because
they're
wrong.
enforcing the law.
There's not a better way to enforce the law. You have to scare and terrify American children.
We do not as civilians. We do not dictate how law enforcement does their tactics. Because
we should.
And here's the problem: did you serve in the military or anything?
No, I've never served. Sir.
Okay, then that's fine. And the reason why I say this is because I'm a former special agent with Homeland.
Oh,
so
I know.
So I understand this stuff. You don't dictate to law enforcement how they're going to go ahead and carry out an arrest, because they're doing things from a perspective to ensure that everyone is safe. Now, you might look at it as a civilian to say, oh my God, this is overwhelming. Why are they doing that? There's a tactical reason as to why they do the things that they do. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather be the one coming in with the hard force, because I am more trained. I understand muzzle discipline, trigger discipline, etc. So if I come in aggressively, tactically, and overwhelm the individual, I know I can take them into custody swiftly where everyone else is safe.
You know what else has skyrocketed? What else has skyrocketed is police brutality against American civilians. What also has skyrocketed is wrongful convictions and wrongful arrest. What also has skyrocketed is the militarization of our police. These are all things that have skyrocketed.
Police brutality typically comes when retards resist cops.
Hey now, we ain't got to use the R word.
I mean, if you
the R
resist the police, you are by definition a retard.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Don't we have a constitutional right to resist?
No, you don't actually.
Right? If we're
If
peacefully
they're
protesting,
operating
then
in a
we have
lawful manner, and they say,
So
hey,
who
you're being
defines-
detained or you're being arrested, you do not
But
resist.
they're not interpreting the law correctly, right? They're stepping all
That's
over the
not
top.
up to you to make that. That's not up to you to make that
Are we a
decision.
country? I'm sorry, excuse me. Are we a country of we the people, or are we the military?
So
Are we
this
the
is
police? Are we
this
the-
is what smart people do.
Oh, now you're going to start with personal
if the
attacks.
cops come
Okay.
up to you, right, and
what he
they're not detaining you or whatever, you ask, am I free to leave? If they say no, you're being detained, you be detained and you be quiet. If they arrest you, you go to jail, you call your lawyer. The less you say, the better. The less you resist, you better. And then you fight it out in court.
Right, but those are stepping on the. I as a black person, I'm taught that as a young black person, when I was a black child, you're taught to be respectful towards the police.
Yep.
The problem is we shouldn't have to be. But resisting with my mouth, say I'm being arrested, I can talk as much shit as I want, right? And legally, I should be able to talk, right, in a country that's supposedly freedom of speech, right?
Just because you could doesn't mean you should.
That's the point, is us being able to exercise our rights.
We also have to have some level of common sense. If a cop is arresting you and you're saying you fucking stupid ass pig, blah blah blah, and disrespecting them and escalating the situation,
Don't expect it to get
that
easier.
is probably going
Where
to
does
create
the common
problems for you.
sense come in on the officer side, where they're not really being fired? They're just like they're getting paid leave.
There's
they're
bad
not
cops
really-
everywhere, yeah.
Right,
But the
right.
reality is that's a fraction. Most cops are good people, law-abiding citizens.
can't tell.
And honestly, if you show them respect, they're going to show you respect. But the problem is, especially in the black community, is
Oh,
they
here
have
we
a
go.
victim mindset. They have a victim narrative. All the cops are against them. Systemic racism, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is they behave like fucking idiots.
What group of people is the most exonerated race as far as like wrongful conviction? Who has the highest, as far as race, who has the highest wrongful conviction and who has the highest exoneration? What
You
race
tell
of
me,
people?
go ahead. Is it black people?
It's black people, brother.
Okay.
We're the most wrongfully arrested. We're overrepresented in the prisons. Even though that we use drugs at the same amount as our white brothers and sisters, we're still overly policed for drugs and crime.
But they dominate when it comes to violent crime, while only being a disproportionate amount of the population.
When are we going to talk about white on white crime? When are we going to talk
It
about white
happens.
on white crime?
It happens.
It happens at who?
I mean, it just happened with
who victimizes white people more? We don't got to talk about that, but who victimizes white people more? What race of people?
Well, typically people kill each other. Their own
Fair
race.
enough.
Their own
Yes,
race.
you're right.
But the reality is, as a white person, you're about 11 times more likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around.
That's not true. You're
That
more
is
likely.
absolutely
You're more
true.
likely to be
That is
killed.
absolutely true.
You're more likely to be killed, right? You're more likely to be killed
By your own
some
race.
by some of your own race. You're more likely if you are the daughter of a white man or a white person, more likely to be abused. You're more likely to
Sure.
be stolen from a white person. And we
Sure.
know that there's a shit ton of police bias because we have a ton of statistics to show that there's a ton of police bias against the African American community. And to sit here and say, "Oh, we have a victim mindset," it completely
They do.
erases. It completely erases. Did they not put crack in black neighborhoods? Did they not put cocaine and crack in black neighborhoods?
Okay. We do have to. I mean,
I take that back. I thought I liked them, but this nigga sound like a little bitch. Did they not put crack in the neighborhood? And you went and smoked it? You sound like a dumbass. Like stupid ass.
are all
niggas.
black people stupid?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are all white people
do
stupid?
they have agency?
Okay.
Okay. So if they have agency and they're not stupid, then if they put crack into neighborhoods, don't sell it.
Okay. You know that's not the way that works. That's not. You know
Don't
that's not the
sell
way
it.
that. You know that.
I thought I spoke too fucking soon. He said, "You know that's not the way that works. You know if they put crack in the neighborhood, we gotta sell it. Come on. Hey, a bunch of niggas. You know if they put crack in the neighborhood, we gotta sell it. Duh.
That is not.
Don't
the way
sell
that-
it.
It was So what? So I have a question. For you.
'Cause
What
here's the thing.
responsibility does the United States government
Yep.
have
Same colors.
for what they did? What
Same
what
colors.
responsibility does the United States government have
This nigga got his
for
hat
what
backwards.
happened?
Who is this
with the
nigga?
epidemic?
The-
and we both agree that happened. That
What, about the crack?
Our neighborhoods were flooded with crack by our government. We both agree that.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah. I mean, but like,
But
look,
that
but here's the thing, man. Like, the government does a lot of stupid shit. Don't take the bait.
But we got to look at black people. Oh, they're being victims. We're not going to talk about the victimizers. We're just going to talk about the victims. Come on, brother.
No,
Come
man.
on,
Here's the thing. If you want to be treated like an equal and you want to be taken seriously and you want agency, then you must be able to deal with the consequences of your freedoms. And no one puts a gun in your head and says, sell crack, bro.
But-
Nobody goes out and tells you, sell that brick, get that cocaine. Black people do it because a lot of the times they have a toxic mindset, no father figure.
So you're agreeing that like the United States government, the police force, the CIA put these drugs in the neighborhood, yet they have no responsibility over what they did or tried to or go against black neighborhoods and black communities.
That's even
but
more
it's
so-
all the black communities' fault. They have all the even though there was red
'Cause
lines.
they had a
even though
choice to
you're-
make.
You're holding us away from
they had a
wealth.
choice to make.
Yeah, but what? Okay, but what? The government had a choice too.
Okay.
Where is the where's the
If you buy
conversation about-
if you buy a gun and the gun shop sells the gun to you, and you use gun to kill someone, is it the gun shop's fault for selling you the gun? No,
When
you
we're
have
not
a
talking about
choice to
guns.
make.
We're talking about human beings. We're talking about communities. We're talking about
Yeah.
real lives, right? We're not talking about guns. We're talking about
called-
we're not talking about like this
called
very
being-
weird analog thing. We're
it's
talking
called
about the
having
fact,
choice.
We're talking about the fact that there was redlining. We're talking about the fact that black people have been kept from wealth forever. We're talking about the fact that we have been over policed, right? And you just admitted and you agree with the fact that they put drugs in our mother loving neighborhoods. But the government, these organizations, they have no responsibility. It's all on the communities that they affected, that they victimized, that they destroyed for years and years with legislation, with money.
Here's the
with
reality.
power, with
Okay.
drugs.
There is no doubt that the United States was built upon racism, and there was racism in the past,
Thank
and
you.
all the other
Thank you.
horrible things. Right? I'm acknowledging that. However, in
Hold up. You know what? I'm not even gonna. You know what? Last time I did that, niggas like, you had to look it up yourself. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
2025, racism
I'ma show
is
y'all
no
later.
longer a valid excuse to be an idiot or to be poor or to be fat or to be a
The government
loser.
just said it was a valid excuse for ICE to stop people. Racist, but profiling,
Yeah.
which is a racist practice. Yes, sir, or no, sir?
I mean, here's the thing. It's not just profiling. A lot of times it's what neighborhood are they in? Who are they hanging with? What are they doing? You know what I mean? It's
Thank
called.
you.
It's called. I call it active policing.
So I'd like to summarize.
Yeah.
So black people are only responsible for all the
I
shit
don't know
that
how
the
we got
government.
to black people from immigration,
But you indulge the conversation. But I'll go back to immigration. Let's
Sure.
So these communities that have been racially profiled by our government now is in control of another government agency that is profiling people of color, coming into neighborhoods, busting open the doors of American citizens who may or may not be hiding anyone. That's what's happening. And you're saying they did nothing wrong. To summarize, thank you guys very much.
no, that's not
crazy.
it at all. It's they broke the immigration law and they're getting arrested for being here illegally and they don't have status. That's why they're getting picked up at the
Why are
immigration
kids
courts.
being put in zip ties? Why are American children being put in zip ties? Give me
Here-
a good reason. Give me a good reason.
Here's again. Kids can get guns. We don't know what's going on. We don't know. Here's
He
the
got
thing.
a toddler. There's a photo of a toddler in
again,
a zip tie.
again,
That's all. They got a gun in the diaper.
law enforcement when they go into these houses, right? Again, and this is the problem when I talk with like people that aren't trained tactically. When you're
That's
going
a great
into
way to subjugate my argument.
yeah,
by the
no,
way.
because the problem here is that you don't like the methodology of how they're conducting things. But what I'm trying to explain to you is there's certain tactical procedures that you put into place where you know you're not going to hurt those individuals if they're all restrained and detained to a degree. And you're going to go ahead and detain everybody until you figure out what's going on, what you got. Then you can release them after.
Who funds our law enforcement?
The government.
The government
Sorry,
is paid
well, the
by
government and the government is funded by us.
Yeah, the taxpayers. So
Yeah.
when you say things like
And the taxpayers voted for this.
when you say
we
my
voted
God.
for mass
Let's
deportations.
not talk about the fact that like
We
15
voted
million
for Trump.
Democrats,
He
15
won.
million Democrats did
The American public wants the
Did you
mass
vote for Trump?
deportations.
Did you vote for Trump?
Fuck yeah, I voted for Trump.
Why did you vote for Trump, my brother?
Why did you vote for Trump? You wanted a woman
To send these
lead?
people back, to make sure we don't have a female president.
Wanted Kamala.
And
Oh man,
I don't like what he's doing with Israel.
Oh.
That's probably one of my grievances. But we can't have a female president.
Thank you very much for your time.
Imagine.
I learned nothing. Thank you.
Well,
That would be your fault, you dumbass.
the reality is that your worldview is wrong.
Stupid.
Okay? There you go. Systemic racism.
Hi, how
That's
are
why no one takes black people seriously anymore.
I'm trying to tell you,
I
they
just had a
all
question.
crying
I was
about,
talking
oh my God, they owe us reparations, they owe us money, the white people, oh my God. Look, just go look, guys, listen, go like a year, don't blame nobody but yourself, go a year, and whenever something happens, blame yourself, every time. Don't blame nobody else, blame yourself, every time something happens, blame your fucking self. I promise you, your life gonna change.